Since we cannot change reality, let us change the eyes which see reality. One hand reaches out and pulls the lost soul from harm, while 1,000 more go unspoken for, and they say, what good have you done, saving just this one? It's like whispering a prayer in the fury of a storm, and I hear them saying, you'll never change things, and no matter what you do, it's still the same thing. It's not the world that I am changing. I do this so this world will know it will not change me. This heart, it still believes that love and mercy still exist, while all these hatreds rage. So many say that love is all but pointless in madness such as this. It's like trying to stop a fire with the moisture from a kiss, and I hear them saying, you'll never change things. No matter what you do, it's still the same thing. It's not the world that I am changing. I do this so this world will know it will not change me. As long as one heart still holds on, then hope is never really gone. And I hear them saying, you'll never change things, and no matter what you do, it's still the same things. It's not this world that I am changing. Do this so this world we know never changes me. But I do this so this world will know it will not change me. The world that we look at is not the world that should control us. Everything that we see is temporary. Everything changes. Regardless of the condition, regardless of the situation, change is inevitable. Change is what life is about. A gentleman was walking along a New York street, saw a Buddhist hot dog vendor. Went up to the Buddhist hot dog vendor and I said, make me one with everything. So the vendor did, said, that'll be $2, please. The gentleman handed him a 20.
The vendor took a $20 bill, put it in his pocket, and started moving on to his other things. The gentleman said, excuse me, what about my change? The vendor looked at him and said, change, my son, comes from within. That's where every great change has ever happened. That's where it always starts. It always starts from within. Always. Now, we may think that those people are making us do stuff. We may think that because of my situation, because of my economic condition, because of this and that and all these other labels that I'll throw onto it, we may be saying, I have no choice. And that's just not true. The choices sometimes are real bare. Again, making a great change. That's not easy. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. Except that it is easy. That dichotomy stuff just messes me up every time. Psalms 18, verse 2. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my rock in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. One of the beautiful things about building here in Florida is no matter what you do, you're kind of building on sand. It's Florida. It's what we do. We are made of a lot of sand. And the first thing they do is they take out all the sand and they bring in dirt. When they built this building, when they built that building, the first thing they did was scoop out all the sand and brought in actual dirt. Compacted it down, made it incredibly strong, and they bring in more, and they're bringing in truckloads of this stuff when they were building that building. I mean, truckloads. And they just keep bringing that big steamroller thing over, and they just keep mashing it down, and they mash it down, and they mash it down, and they mash it down. And it's not until that happens before they bring in the concrete. You can't build on sand. Sand shifts, sand changes, sand erodes. Anyone who's ever seen a sinkhole, you understand what I'm talking about. Then they bring in the concrete. And something to think about. When they pour the concrete, it takes 24 hours to cure. Which means that wherever that concrete is made must be within 24 hours of this location. Makes sense, right? Okay, there's a concrete factory that's about 40 minutes from here. And what they did was they knew that what they were going to need just to pour the foundation for this building, they actually did it with 3 pours. So for each one of the pours, they needed 11 trucks. So the 11 trucks would line up at the concrete factory. And they would fill the first one and they would go. And then they would not start pouring it into the second one until a certain amount of time had elapsed. In the meantime, the driver of the first truck is relaying traffic conditions back to the people back at the factory to let them know, oh, there's an accident, we have to go around this way, or this isn't working, or that isn't working. Okay, it's this beautiful synchronized ballet. In the meantime, they're in communication with the people that are here to let them know, okay, we're 2 minutes out. We're 1 minute out. So that when they get here, the people are all in alignment and say, this is where the truck goes, point to shoot right here, this is where we're going. And the people start, getting out there and flattening it all out and all this kind of stuff. And it has to operate like this. But the concrete that they made that they put into the first truck is not the same concrete that they put into the last truck. Because the last truck, if they'd have waited until that whole time elapsed to pour the same concrete into the last truck, a portion of it would have dried before they got here. So they had to make about 5 truck batches at a time. Well, there were 11 trucks. So there were 3 batches of concrete. Isn't it amazing all the little things that have to happen? And the communication that has to happen. Constant communication. We know our lives work better when we stop trying to communicate up here in our little echo chamber and we say things out loud. When we talk things out loud, that's when really great change can happen. That's when really remarkable things can happen. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be a jolly sight harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg. We are like eggs at the present, and you cannot go on indefinitely being just an ordinary, decent egg. We must be hatched or we go bad. We do. It's what happens. It's what happens. In the Bible, it talks about putting away our... when I was a child, I thought as a child, and I acted as a child, and when I became a man, I put away my childlike ways. Everybody in here hung out with kids, and you kind of have an idea of what children act like. Has anybody seen grown-up kids?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No! No! You can't see me. It's good to laugh. It's good to have fun. But being around a person that's an adult child would really be a stretch. Take my shoes off. Wash my clothes for me. I don't want to take out the garbage. We must develop. We cannot remain as eggs. We must develop. It is the nature of things. Acorns must either be eaten or become oak trees. Puppies must become dogs. It is the evolution thing. It is what happens. Our little buddy Liam. He's how many months old is he now?
I had about 4.
About 4 months old. He's had 2 open heart surgeries so far, right? Yeah. So he's 4 months old. 2 open heart surgeries, getting ready for his 3rd one. He had a whole bunch of heart problems and breathing problems right now. Now, the average human being operates on, they're looking for an oxygen intake level of somewhere between 98 and 99%. Okay, he's at 40. Okay. And this is after 2 surgeries to repair blood vessels and all this other kind of stuff, right? And still he smiles. Still he does. He's 4 months old, and he's already had 2 open heart surgeries. And already, okay, well, I need another one. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's bring it on. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about this. I mean, I know as soon as he comes out of the hospital well enough so other people can be around this, I'm going to buy him a little pair of boxing gloves. Because the little man, he's a fighter. He's just a little fighter. He's in there swinging, man. He's swinging. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready. Bring it on. Yeah, that's the best you got? Come on! Come on! That's all you got? Oh, you're going to have to come at me with something bigger than that. And I think part of it is because children are the least distance away from God than us adults. There was a beautiful story about this little girl and mom and dad were having another baby, and their daughter was already 4.5 months old, and she was kind of excited about the new baby, but you know, a little whatever brother or sister or something, they're going to be annoying, they're going to be following me wherever I go, and they're going to be using my stuff and touching my toys, blah, blah, blah. So mom and dad bring the new baby home, and she's just fascinated, this little brother. Put him in the crib one night, and the little sister kind of goes in there, and she's talking to the little boy. And dad kind of overhears her, and she's saying, "Tell me what God's like. It's been so long, and I'm starting to forget." No. There is an understanding that children have that us adults just, we lose it because we become us. I mean, there's nothing wrong with us, but we become us. And life happens. Stuff happens. Be renewed in the spirit of your mind and put on the new self, which in the likeness of God has been created in righteousness and holiness of truth. We are all children of God. God does not make junk. There ain't nothing wrong with any person sitting in this room. There ain't nothing wrong with any person we ever see. Nothing wrong. On a purely God level, ain't nothing wrong. But then ego happens. Whee! Things start going, wow! Things start coming off the rail. Sometimes. In your heart of hearts, do you believe most people are good? Or do you believe that most people are not? These are the choices that will define how your day's going to go. Do you believe that most people are there to take advantage of you, or are they not there to take advantage of you? Every day we must make these decisions. And every day, based on information we've gotten from the day before and responses from people, we may change our opinion. We may change it in the short-term level. And sometimes the change happens so often that it becomes a deeply held belief. This is where hatred comes from. This is where a lot of fear comes from. We hear something often enough and all of a sudden that becomes true. We're told something by people in authority, people that we believe, people whose opinions that we trust, tell us over and over again, you're worthless. You can't trust people of that color. You can't do that. Are you kidding me? You can't do that. And we hear these things, and they stick. And these are people that know better. They're a lot smarter than I am. They're big people. And they clearly have my welfare in their mind. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. It's nice to think that we know the one and only way. It's nice to think, man, this is the best. This way right here, this way, one size fits all. And that is absolutely untrue. Absolutely untrue. You hear on the news all the time about Christians did this, and Muslims did this, and Jews did this, and blah, 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 blah. We love attaching labels to groups. We just do. We can't conceive of just the possibility that we're going to take this group and break it down into actual people's names. It's a lot to handle. It's a lot to deal with. Yes, it is. And it's worth the trip. It's absolutely worth the trip. But we clump and we lump. Because it's easier for us to just categorize. All this and all that. Two of the most dangerous words in the human language. All and never. Always and never. People like that always do this. And you never. It's not true. Generally speaking. I'm never going to have a child. I can say that with authority. I can. No, I mean me. Me. Yeah. No.
Watch out, God might have other plans.
We'll stop that talk right now. We'll stop that right now. Yeah, I'll now that would be a church service to attend. Greg has a special announcement this week. Yeah!
Sorry.
No, I get it. In all things, we must be willing to listen. The great change happens when we listen. Other people have good ideas. Other people have valid ideas. Right now with the campaign going on, the two camps are pretty well established. And the two camps, if you talk to anybody in either one of the camps, they are more than happy to tell you how that other person is wrong. And they are very reticent to tell you how their person is
People can recite a litany of how that person has been doing this and that person has been doing that. But when it comes to what their particular candidate does right, people have a tough time with that. And that's interesting. And that's kind of how we work nowadays. And we need to change that. We need to start seeing the real-good. Not be conformed to this world. But be transformed by the renewal of your mind. That by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. Do not be conformed to this world. The High Holy Days just happened for our friends here at Temple Bethel. One of the things that they have to do, so Rosh Hashanah is the start of the new year, and then Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement. That happens 8 days later. The Day of Atonement, what you do is you go before God and you ask for God's forgiveness for your transgressions for the year. And before you do that, you must go to every person who you transgressed during the year and ask for their forgiveness first. You cannot go before God and ask forgiveness until you have asked for forgiveness from those who you have transgressed against during the year. It doesn't mean they have to accept it. It doesn't mean that it all has to be all hunky-dory and all worked out and everybody's all unicorns and rainbows again. But you have to go before them and say, you know what? I messed up on that one. I completely messed up on that one, and I accept responsibility for that. It's a beautiful blog that I read, the 5 non-apology apologies. I'm sorry if that offended you. That's a non-apology. Well, I only did that because you did this. So I'm sorry. How you apologize to somebody is you look them in the eye and say, you know what, I messed up. And I accept full responsibility for that. And I hope you forgive me. And I will try really hard not to do it again. Okay. What that does is that shows ownership in the mistake. Okay. It's not passing it on to someone else. It's not trying to lessen it. It's not basing the other person's response on the lessening of it. It is accepting responsibility. This is where the great change will ever happen in our lives, is accepting responsibility for our lives. This is my life. It's not yours. This is mine. Yours is yours. Yours is yours. Mine is mine. And I want mine. And I want you to have yours. And if you happen to be Muslim and do it, and you happen to be Jewish and do it, and you happen to be Asian and do it, who am I to say that any one of those is wrong? That takes an amazing amount of boldness, don't you think? And a really, really narrow vision of the world. How dare I suggest that God put those people on there for me to make fun of them? Or for me to put them down? How dare I? Shame on me. Smack my hand. How dare I? And yet it happens so fast. It happens really, really fast. We make a list and we notice the things that we say during the course of a week. Even the little subtle kind of things, the stuff that we talk about with friends, the little things that we say on the side. We would be amazed that if we heard someone in a public forum say them out loud, whoa, whoa. Or if the person that we actually were talking about was sitting or standing in front of us, would we say it together? We would be shocked. Absolutely shocked. Now, don't make yourself wrong about this. But be aware of it. Words have great power. Great power. They do. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I read and walked for miles at night along the beach, writing blank, bad verse and searching endlessly for someone wonderful who would step out of the darkness and change my life, and it never crossed my mind that that person could be me. How many songs do we know about, man, I can't wait till that person comes along and changes my life, man. Woo! And on that day, that's going to be a great day. Look in the mirror. Why can't it be that person? In fact, that's who it should be. Because that person in the mirror has your best interest in mind. At all times and in all places. That person thinks that you are the most important thing on this planet. That one right in the mirror. Yeah. That one in the mirror will cut itself a little break. That one in the mirror will say, you know what? You're pretty darn good today. That one in the mirror is going to say, you know what? You nailed that. That was awesome. That one you should feel good about. That one right there. And it could be anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. I used to have these work lists where when I had rental properties, and I would have these hit punch lists. It goes through and, like this needs painted, and that needs painted, and this and all these little things that need fixed around the site, right? And what I used to do was put a sheet together, and I would say kitchen, fix kitchen stuff. So it'd be the whole list of stuff in the kitchen, fix living room stuff. And it really depressed me because, it took a while to get everything done on that list to be able to cross that kitchen one off. So what I did was I broke it down into smaller pieces. Fix kitchen stuff, replace dishwasher, fix baseboard under sink, take care of this, take care of that. So now there would be 5 line items on it. And as I finished each one, baby was gone. Yeah! I posted that list right outside the kitchen. So every time I walked through there, I could look at it and say, yep, got it. Oh, okay, there's next. Boom. Instead of seeing fixed kitchen thing. Now it became very specific. And that's exactly the point. Be specific. Pick one thing that you would like to get better at. And it could be anything. Absolutely. Is there a subject you've always wanted to study? Is there a topic you've always wanted to know a little bit more about? Have you ever thought about taking defensive driving school? Do you ever wonder what it's like to be an umpire in a Major League Baseball game? Have you ever flown in a helicopter? How about a limo ride? Have you ever gone on a limo ride? All of these things are possible. They're all right here, ready for us at any time we want them. So pick one. Thinking about learning a new language. Excellent. Learn a new language. Life is meant to be experienced. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is a period of constant change. It is a constant state of becoming something. You are already a perfect you. You do not need to worry about that. You are a perfect you. God made you. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Okay? Now, on a human level, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? There's endless possibilities. Absolutely endless possibilities. And the beautiful part is there are teachers out there. There are people that are more than happy to tell us and show us exactly what it is that we can do and reveal to us just how much really is possible. You look at some of these people that have done some outrageous things, and they always seem to find a way to fit more time in there. Look at me. Look at me. I'm changing. Trying every way I can
better than I am. Trying to find a way to understand, but I need you. I need a hand. Seeing everything so clear, I am changing. I'm gonna start right now, right here, hoping to work it out, and I know that I can, but I need you. I need a hand. All of my life I've been a fool who said I could do it all alone. How many good friends have I lost? How many dark nights have I known? Walking down that wrong road, there was nothing I could find. All those years of darkness can make a person blind, but now I can see that I'm changing, trying every way I can. I am changing. I'll be better than I am. I need a friend to help me start all over again. Oh, that would be just fine. I know it's gonna work out this time, 'cause this time I am. This time I am changing. I've got my life together now. I am changing, and I know how. I'm gonna start again, leave my past behind. I will change my life. I'll make a vow, and nothing is gonna stop me now. We've got to step into life. We've got to step into it. Life is so good. Life is ready for us. It's opening up. And just in case you think it's too serious, I prevent the comedy of Stephen Hawking. Bet you didn't know he was a stand-up, did you? I just sit down comedian. But still, I have noticed even people who claim everything is predestined and that we can do nothing to change it, they look before they cross the road. There's a beauty in that. There is absolutely nothing that can stop us. Absolutely nothing. The only thing that's ever going to stop us is us. So let's get out of our ways and let's get into this day. And that is all I'm saying on that.